How you doing today, folks? First things first, there's a man outside with a leaf blower. I keep thinking he's done and he keeps starting up again, so if it happened to start blowing in the middle of the video, I do apologize. Now we have a package from Arizona Custom Knives, and I want to just take 1 second to shout this company out. To be very clear, I'm not sponsored by them at all. I doubt they have any idea who I even am. All that being said, they are absolutely fantastic as far as customer service. I had some problems with the site. Gave him a call, very professional, very polite, very curt and courteous. Overall, fantastic. And once I ordered my actual knives, or knife, the package was shipped out in under an hour. I received the shipped email in about maybe like 20 minutes. Very, very fast. I'm used to ordering from companies like Blade HQ and stuff like that, which takes several days to ship. For to have it shipped, again, instantaneously, especially given all that's going on right now, I was absolutely blown away. So a big shout out to you guys. Today's unboxing knife is the Paragon Knives Warlock. And let's get it started. So today we have it's a knife, and it's a very kind of hyped pen. I have had these before. I have not had quite this version of it, but I'm very excited about this version. So let's put the pen aside for a moment. And what we have here is a WE 613. This is a discontinued model, but you can still find them for fairly cheap if you look around. But they are absolutely fantastic. The aesthetic-wise really appealed to me. Not normally a fan of the whole kind of blackout knives. DLC coated blade is one thing, but I like to have some contrast to the handle. But just the way this looks with the kind of goldish bronze hardware and everything else, this really appealed to me. I'm not a huge fan of how they have this kind of blade going, how it kind of just like the DLC tapers off. It is by design, so it isn't like it's a flaw or anything like that, but it's definitely something that should be noted. So, as far as action goes, my favorite flipper, which is the Custom Knife Factory Muscle, is actually on load to my buddy Scott at Big Bore Knife and Gear. So, to fill in for that, we have the ZT 0560, another big bruiser of a knife. The WE is actually a decent amount bigger than it though, and the flipping action is pretty comparable. Now, my favorite flipper by far, besides that muscle, is this little Deacon. Now, it's a small knife. It's not really something I use very often, but I keep it around because the action is so good. It looked much bigger in pictures. Once I got it in hand, I was like, okay, what the fuck is this? But again, the action is so good. Somehow it's just never gotten sold. So the action, again, is very comparable. This big blade flips absolutely beautifully. These are also going to act as our size comparisons for the video. Here's a Riot full-size hollowed Valhalla. Again, phenomenal flipper. As far as some of the EDC staples, we have the Spyderco Smock. As you can see, this is a very big knife. A Man X2. And I'm not too sure where my Griptilian is. I very much need to reorganize my little workspace. Oh, there we go. Also have a full-size Griptilian. And I'll go ahead and throw out my 940. So as you can see, very big knife. We have 4.125 inches of blade, just over, I believe it's 4.03 if I recall, inches of blade, inches of cutting edge, excuse me, because we do have this very nice, minimal but still very functional finger choil. Feels very good in hand. As far as ergonomics go, it's not the greatest. This kind of weird swedge right here falls right on my middle finger, which doesn't feel all that great. If I choke up though, I can bypass it and then it feels much better. As far as size, again, this is a pretty big knife. I'm pretty close to the edge, but definitely still got a full 4-finger grip. I just cut myself. That was stupid. That blade falls very, very quickly. So, as far as overall first impressions on this knife, again, this is going to be kind of quick because I have another thing to unbox. The handle kind of has this weird sort of effeminate look to it, as far as kind of like the curves and everything else. Not bad by any means, but it does give kind of a weird hot spot. If this little curve wasn't there, you still have a very interesting looking handle, and it would fit just a lot better. So I'm not too sure how I feel about that. I question the design to have the DLC to kind of stop right there, but again, that's very much an aesthetic piece of it. This is an M390 steel, so phenomenal steel. I've used M390 from Wii before, and they have a fantastic heat treat. I am not sure how this pocket clip is going to work. 1 second, folks. Yeah, I don't know who the hell thought about that. As far as the pocket clip carry goes, you have to physically lift this up, and then it slides in. I don't have any idea why they would design the pocket clip to where it falls into this little crevice here. That is just frankly stupid. You can see how that sits, like that's not going to work for anybody. But again, if you do lift this up a little bit, and slides right in. As far as an overall, to be very clear, first impression score on this knife, action-wise, a 10. As far as fit and finish, I don't see any real big issues as far as damage or weird things to this knife. It all fits very well. As far as design, that is very, very dumb. As Nick Shabazz would call it, that's ugly. I have no idea why they would do that, but they did, and here we are. So that definitely needs to be a significant knock. My overall score on this, honestly, this is going to knock down a couple points for me, for sure. So I'm going to give this a 70. To be very clear, the majority of that huge knock is because of this. This is just such a gigantic misstep. I mean, you can just look at that and know that's not right. No other knife I've seen that has that. That is such a very strange thing. Also, to be clear, there is proprietary hardware. The tool does come with it, so it's not quite so bad, though it definitely deserves a little bit of a knock as well. So again, 70. If you can go about getting one of these, would I recommend it? As far as the action and everything else, I would. Very thin blade too. But again, just be aware that there are some very strange issues that I just don't know why they would overlook that. Now, I'm going to do a bunch of size comparisons and some other stuff with this knife on a separate video, because when I was trying to look at this knife, I'm so used to knives. I was trying to look into this pen. I could not seem to find anything about it. So I'm going to try to put as much information out there as I can, so hopefully if anybody else wants one of these, they can go about getting it. Now, this is a fell holter. This is a full-size tie bolt. This is customized by Axel, I believe is what it was. It's very interesting. Captain Axel, I think is what it was called. This is a copper tie bolt, but it has this kind of like black, I think it's a Cerakote on it. And it is absolutely beautiful. Full-size pen, fits pretty good in my hands. Nice bit of weight. It's going to fit very nicely with my heretic, however you say that, the Auto Butcher that I got recently. The mechanism feels honestly perfect. Just, it's so smooth, so buttery. And then again, how this slides down and how this is all built, like this is absolutely fantastic. As far as a bolt action pen goes, fell holter really is the best way to go. There is some better stuff out there as far as like the true custom stuff, which you're looking at spending $700-800 on a pen. But as far as this thing goes, this was $300, which is still very much for a pen, to be very clear, but it is just absolutely beautiful, and it will last a damn long time. This whole thing is made out of the highest quality titanium. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're going to do a couple general size comparisons. First off, here's your general Sharpie. Most people have a Sharpie. They can see it's just a Well, to be clear, it's pretty much the identical size of the Sharpie. The Sharpie looks a little smaller. It's not. It's a weird thing having to do with the aspect ratio. Very close. Actually, this is a little bit smaller. Excuse me. We also have a full-size Urban Survival Gear tie scribe bolt. So very, very similar. The Urban Survival Gear is just a little bit longer. We're talking like maybe a fraction of an inch. We also have the Karis Customs Render K. Definitely much bigger than that. And we're gonna do one more. Actually, make that two more. This is a Fisher Space Pen Bullet. If you choose to post the cap, again, pretty comparable in size. And last but not least, I'm actually going to throw out two at the same time. This is a $20 Boker bolt action, and this is a tactile turn bolt action short. And for argument's sake, here's also a bolt action tall or long. This is actually a glider. This is prior to where they changed the names to short and long. But very comparable to the full-size tactile turn glider, as well as the short here. So definitely a full-size pen. Despite it being copper, it's not super heavy. It does have a little bit of weight to it, but it's nothing particularly major. It fits very well in hand. The action is absolutely fantastic, and my first impressions of this pen are honestly 100. I have owned 11 fell holters to date, ranging from things from zirconium to mokutai to Timascus to a couple different ones, honestly. And they all have fantastic fit and finish. I would rate them all, honestly, a 10. As far as ergonomics go, they all are fantastic. The tiny bolts and stuff of that nature do not fit in my hands whatsoever, but they still have perfect fit and finish and are absolutely beautiful. And this one is no exception. If you are on the fence about buying a fell holder, again, they're definitely expensive, but they are honestly perfect. They are just absolutely incredible, heads and tails above pretty much everything else. They are a staple for a reason. They are hard to find for a reason. As always, folks, I love you all very much. Please take care during these trying times. Things are absolutely nuts. Please be safe. I wish this piece was bronze. It would fit perfectly. As it is, it's kind of close. Anyways, as always, I love you all, folks, and take care. Bye.